Come on in, guys. Grab a drink. Tonight, I'm going to be reacting to, Katie Joy's Facebook Live from last Friday night. I haven't watched it yet. So, as always, first reaction. That'll be fun. Let's all get excited. You better be excited. I'm going to get excited, and I'll see you on the other side.
I can't think.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. I hope you guys are going well, a lot better than my fucking intro. Fuck, I've got to work on that. Why does it never come out? The pressure's on, that's why. Welcome. Yes, a bit of a warning. I've still got vertigo, and yeah, that's it really. That's the only issue that I should let you know about. But yeah, I've got to say before we watch this, as always, it's everything I say is like always my own opinion, as strong as it is. The passion is there, but really it's just my point of view, formed my opinion. And you can find more info in the description below. I really do encourage everyone, every time you watch a video of mine, check out the description box, because especially with lives, you can check out the timestamps. You can actually use them. The replay crew do. They're living their best life. Boom, 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 and cutting out all my crap, which is the way to go if you want to stay sane. But yes, there's also the links and how you can join the KATIIE contributors, who are the members of this channel. And they're a lovely fucking bunch. They get extra content and they get the badge. I'm jealous as well. One day I will work it out. I have to create another account just so I can get the badge. But yeah, they get shout outs as well, because hey, who doesn't want shout outs? Who am I shouting out tonight? Well, welcome back, Sam Shaw. You're getting a welcome back shout out. I think it's been a while, and I like to see when someone I know returns, you know, a good old friend. Yeah, so thank you very much for being a contributor, and yeah, I hope you have a good day. Cactus high 5. Actually Cactus high 10. I feel with these Facebook lives of Katie's that just got to amp it up. Like Cactus high 5 is just not going to amp it up a bit more. Fuck, what am I talking about? So yeah, this is Without a Crystal Ball's Facebook Live from Friday night. Obviously I wasn't present. And yeah, we're just going to watch it. And I figured out, because I had an issue, like, let me know if you guys want the comments, the chat to be up on the side. That shits me because I don't get the full screen. Like, I don't get to be as close to Katie. And I read her, like, body language mostly. And, but, like, I'm willing to sacrifice what I want for what you guys need. And also, I think it was Uncle Sal. Thank you for suggesting I change it to dark mode, which has really solved the fucking problem. It was too white before. Now it's all black, and this is more my scene. If it wasn't Uncle Sal, well, we're just going to have to let the credit go there. So, yeah, money on my mind. No, what is it? I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. I really don't sing in tune to that. But, yeah. Oh, my God, it looks like Poons. Poons backwards. Oh, look, we can read the whole thing. One of my favorite things. Oh, just quickly, I think I'm going to say it really quickly, but The Hard Word, if you've never seen it, it's an Australian movie. Go watch it. It's really cool. And they talk their own language. They're butchers. And it's like backwards. And everything's backwards. And oh my God, for one weekend, my friend and I, we just spoke backwards. Okay, like, yeah. Like my name would be Lib. You get what I'm saying? Everyone, that was worth a giggle, right? Okay, we're going. We're going to this shit show.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm just coming on here very quickly. I actually have comments limited on this live simply because I'm not. I don't want to deal with all of the back and forth and the arguing and the negativity. I am just coming here to share what I've been posting about and why. I don't claim to have an agenda here. I'm not doing this because I have a vendetta. I'm not doing this because I hate any of the people involved. Frankly, this is a situation that I got involved in because people asked me to look into the situation, and I did. When I started looking into the situation, I wasn't looking at this for a fundraising situation. I didn't believe that I would have to be a fundraiser for the situation. What I was told was that this was a concerning situation happening online of a influencer that had a husband that was ill, that was on life support. There was a lot of videos that were being put out by this influencer. There was confusion and frustration, and people were concerned about the influencer not answering questions and not being truthful and being like not answering questions about why the person was actually on life support and what happened to the person and what happened to her husband. And that's why I entered the story. I didn't know that the whole thing was supposed to be about the birth mother seeing the son. I learned very quickly that that's what the story was supposed to be about. Like that was the narrative that we were supposed to go with. So when I joined the Justice for Vaughn pages, what I was looking at was Andrea and trying to figure out like, who is this person and what are they doing and why are people so upset about this? And then, you know, I had a chance to talk to his birth mother, Letitia. I had a chance to speak to his stepmother, Wynette, his father, Marvon Sr., his birth father, Marvon Sr. But I also had a chance to speak to supporters of Dre, longtime supporters that were not happy with what they were seeing online, confused about the situation, upset with what they were seeing, and they didn't know what to believe, and they weren't sure what happened. So my biggest issue was that it was hard for me to get any kind of balance, right? If I wanted to ask any questions about the situation, I wasn't allowed to. If I wanted clarifications about all the different.
I just want to know, why were they having the, like, why did you allow them to have the authority over you? You know, you can go beyond this channel. You're just obsessed with Molly Go Lightly for some reason. You're like, you've gone down this road and you've like, oh, you're not willing to reverse and go find another path to still connect with the story, Katie. So like, you're like, oh, you know, I was being corrected on the narrative and they were telling me what I can and what I can't post, and remove yourself from this situation, and also maybe do your research before putting the story out, because a lot of people have had issue with you flipping and flopping, which is what you do because of Leaf, you know. And also, like I said, you are easily fed information. You're easily manipulated, Katie. And I fucking can't stand this orange filter on your face. Why? Why do you need, oh, is it, I don't know. There's so many possibilities. Is it because you don't have the money to get your usual facial treatments? I'm not sure. But you saying that you didn't get into this because it was a fundraiser? Fuck. I beg to fucking differ. Oh, I haven't used that. I beg to differ. Wow, that's my mom. I sound like my mom. I beg to differ on that, Katie, because I swear if there was no Cash App, there was no fundraising going on, you would not have cared about this case. But you realise that people are willing to donate for stuff. Why don't you put out, this is the father's friend, he wants you to donate here, and what? Okay, we're going back. We got 4 fingers up and no thumb.
Players, right? So I understand that what happened is that it isn't a full story until I speak to Dre, right? But I mean, Dre's not going to speak to anyone at this point. I think it would be silly for Dre to speak to anyone on YouTube or anyone online at this point. She has her own stuff she has to take care of. There's now an active investigation for DCS, and so anything that she were to say publicly, they can use.
Because you're driving the narrative. Fuck, I hate that word. I can't even fucking say it now without seeing your ET fingers go up around the word. Imagine saying, oh, it's not even important for Dre to talk now. I've taken the steering wheel. People are believing exactly what I am telling them is happening. If Dre comes in, she's just going to break the whole speculation that I've put down as fucking fact, in my opinion.
So all I was trying to do, in fairness, was look at the whole situation. And I definitely reacted very, I would say, emotionally in the beginning, because what I was initially seeing was very emotional to me. I was seeing Dre try to stop a father from seeing his son, and that made me feel, a birth father from stopping to see his son, and that made me feel like sad for him. Reacted very, I would say, emotionally in the beginning, because what I was initially seeing was very emotional to me. I was seeing Dre try to stop a father from seeing his son, and that made me feel, a birth father from stopping to see his son, and that made me feel like sad for him, you know.
First off, she almost said scared, and sad is such a fucking generic word when you're talking about, like, you know, usually people would go, how dare she not let her father see the sun? Like, there's just no emotion there. It's fucking monotone. It's Mrs. Paulson doing round and round, what's it called, round the world with that yo-yo eyes of yours, trying to figure out what word you can insert in there that is a emotion, because you don't feel anything, in my opinion. Fuck, what would you know? What fuck if we're talking parent-child relationships and you're the fucking expert? Oh.
I saw her really weird behavior in the hospital, talking about like putting saliva on his face. I saw her, you know, trying to sell kratom as like the cure-all for every single thing out there. I got concerned about her using her platform to sell herbs that are not FDA regulated. I was concerned as a consumer that she has people watching her and she's telling them, you can go off your type 1 diabetic medicine if you take my herbs, and I'm going to cure your cancer, and I'm going to cure your, you know, HIV, and I'm going to cure your diabetes, and you're not going to have any of these issues again. Like, that's honestly the stuff that literally made me like my stomach drop, because I'm like, oh my God, she's literally using her platform to sell miracle cures to people, and then to then use this on her, you know, kids. And that concerned me as a mother. And I noticed a lot of stuff she was doing with her kids that really, really, really concerned me. You know, there was a lot of things that it was hard for me to dissect. And then the information that I was getting from people was very like, unless I believed everything that the mother said, or the birth mother said, or everything that the Vaughn's biological family said, unless I believed everything they said, I wasn't allowed to think about or even consider.
The critical word being believe. If I believed them, if I believed them, didn't believe them, what? Are you reporting?
I wasn't even allowed to consider what the other side of the story was. So all I wanted to do was try to look at the whole situation. I wanted to understand, like, how did we get to this place? How did this all happen? I'll answer. Okay, so Shanisa Stewart, just want to let you know I will answer your question in a minute. As long as you guys stay respectful in the comments, I'm not going to block you. What I don't want is the virtual, like the you're a piece of shit, Katie, for talking about this. I can't believe that you would ask questions. I can't believe that you would do this. Like, I will 100% answer your questions, but I needed.
So Katie, instead of blocking those people, maybe you should ask them why. Why do they believe that you are doing that? Try and have a conversation with them. Yeah, because you would usually have a conversation without them. My gosh, Katie, if you could understand, you're like, I want to see it from both sides. Okay, but what about the side? About the people that really do care about Von? And this has just become so ridiculous. Taking away, like, because you don't understand this, like I keep repeating, the sensitivity of the case, the heaviness. that you can't really fucking speculate about family relations. People are going to feed you what they want to get knowing, like that you aren't one of those people that, like, oh, LATISHA must have known giving you information that you would share it all, because that's the kind of standards that you have. Because you're transparent. That's right. I'll share everything because I'm transparent. Yeah, okay. Do you reckon Snoop would agree with that? I reckon Snoop Dogg might be a better reporter than you.
To and wanted to look at the whole story. I didn't want to just, I initially jumped on to that, oh my gosh, hold on a second. Okay, I'm gonna move my comments away here so I don't get distracted. So I wanted to be able to look at the situation from all angles. I don't disagree that in a situation like this, that there were mistakes made on all sides. As I look at the whole situation 3 weeks after I was asked by my subscribers to look into the situation, there's nothing in any of the evidence I've seen, any of the videos, any of the behaviors, any of the things I've been told to me, any of the information I've been able to find that has led me to believe that there isn't an entire mess in the situation and that all parties have made mistakes and that none of the parties involved in this are truly innocent in the situation other than Vaughn and
and that was the universe calling your bullshit. Just a whole shift happened as you said everyone's made mistakes. Well, like, are you going to admit that you've made mistakes? Everyone's you are the center of all of this, Katie. What you project, what you put out, what you take in, who you believe, and then you just spit it out with no fucking context, no fucking care for anyone. If you fucking had emotion and felt for people, you would understand boundaries. So don't sit here and go, it hit me really hard because I'm a mother. If you're a fucking mother, you would step back. You'd understand there's a child, there's a parent, and you're fucking in the middle, interfering.
And the children. And that remains my primary focus as I'm looking into the situation. So when I spoke to LATISHA, she told me that she had custody of Vaughn from the time that he was age 7 all the way up until he graduated from high school. But that completely contradicts what Vaughn has said publicly. Publicly, there is literally video of Vaughn saying that he did not live with his mother until he was almost 17 years old, and that he lived with her only for a very brief short period of time, and that when he did live with her, he expressed that it was not a good decision.
And this is what I mean. You can't just sit there and be so fucking blunt and black and white about it. You'll never understand putting a child up for adoption, placing a child for adoption, or like not being able to raise your child. Comes with a lot of, like, no doubt, affected her mental health. So you trying to prove who's right and what, it's it's just, get out of it. Get out of it. It's like I couldn't even cover the shit. I didn't want to cover any more of you sitting there talking about all this, because I can't stop thinking about Vaughn. Even if he, I've always said, you report on him as if he's, passed away from the beginning. Not like he's human, not like he deserves any respect. You can sit there and smear his family. What? Because he can't say anything? And then you want to fucking preach suicide awareness, Katie? Oh my God. If you had an ounce of feeling, oh, that's a lot, isn't it? An ounce, an inch, maybe a palm, measurement of salt with pasta, that amount of feeling, maybe be able to sense where you went wrong. Just fucking take accountability for being wrong. Stop. If you stroke your ego one more time, I'll have to get Snoop on the phone.
Decision for him, and that he regretted it. That doesn't mean that he didn't love her. That doesn't mean that he didn't care about her. Every child, I think, I know from my own experience, because there are people in my own family that have lost custody of their children. And those same children have remained in the family, so they still have a connection.
Who? And if you're talking about your husband's family, how dare you take it on your, because it's not your direct family. You wouldn't even know what a connection, or like you don't have that maternal instinct to protect your child. If anyone had Googled you before they'd spoken to you, like I wish Letitia would have, she would have seen that you exploit your own son. So how the fuck are you going to treat her case with some fucking dignity? And you're not even going to Google to try and rectify the situation of like over thousands of pictures and videos of your son out there, and you writing about, attached to an article about you. Poor me. I went through all these surgeries with him and no one fucking cares about me. It's all about him. Yeah, narcissist, in my opinion. In my opinion, Katie Joy. Yep, poons for life.
To their birth parent, but they never stop wanting to love their birth parent. So I fully believe that Vaughn, no matter what Letitia did or whatever the problems they had, I have no doubt that he loved her at all. I have no doubt that he loves his siblings, and I also have no doubt that he loves his biological father.
No one is looking to you to see whether he loves his parents or not. I have no doubt that he loved them. You speaking about people, you live in a loveless house. In my opinion, I can't say much more. Fuck off, Katie.
I think all children, if you have a parent that is estranged, or if you have been, and I'm not suggesting this is what happened, I'm just saying, like, if you've had a parent that's left you, or you've had an estranged relationship with, or if you were abandoned by a parent, you know, like, or if your dad was gone and you didn't get to see him ever, you never stop longing for that relationship to be restored, repaired, and to have that relationship. So I have no doubt that he loved his mom.
I'm sorry I keep cutting in, but Katie, how the fuck do you know that? Who? Like, you don't have first-hand experience of that. Don't sit there and preach about shit you don't know about. And the one thing you don't know about, and I'm 100% sure after watching it for all these years, you don't know shit about human relationships, or just say, because, you know, I don't want you to get confused if I'm thinking something else, but I mean all relationships. You don't have a friendship with anyone. Even when you were preaching that Lindsay Chrisley was your best friend, you were texting other people, name dropping and talking about Lindsay behind her back, because you got no respect for no one. You don't even fucking respect yourself. So fucking hell. How do you respect anything? Well, obviously you don't respect what you report, and you don't respect your fucking business, your own income, willing to destroy it because no self-awareness. Do you know that you're your own enemy? Huh? You're probably your biggest troll. You are. Katie, you looking at me? Are you looking over my shoulder? I can't quite tell where you're looking, but...
Mother. I also have no doubt that he loved his wife. And I have no doubt that he is a 29-year-old man. Whenever I say was, I just want to be clear here is that I don't want to say that I'm speaking of him in the past tense. I'm speaking of the situation.
Fucking stop justifying your fucking stupid words, man. You never fucking... What reporter sits there and go, and when I refer to him as was, I'm not saying past tense. I'm saying before the incident. No, because there's other ways to refer to it instead of using past tense when referring to someone. Like, you are fucked. You are fucked. Look at your finger. Mrs. Paulson knows all. Does she?
In the past tense. I realize he's still alive, so I don't want anyone to think that I'm already having him in the grave. That's not true. He's still alive. He's in a coma. He's in the hospital. So with that being said, I think the complexity of the relationship with his birth mother was a factor in his estrangement with her for many years. When I initially walked into the situation, it was told to me that the reason why the estrangement happened was because of Andrea. And sure, I'm not discounting that she has admitted that she's a controlling person. I'm not discounting that she's had conversations with friends where she told them that she was the one that helped him see the toxicity of the relationships. I'm not discounting the fact that, you know, she definitely controlled a lot of parts of his life. No one is discounting that. But then I also equally cannot discount the fact that there's Vaughn's own words online of his own feelings and thoughts about his family. He spoke about it in supporter lives. He spoke about it in the team meetings for paparazzi. And he was also, you know, and he did reconnect with them this spring. And I remember, I was thinking about this. So he had a conversation with her in the beginning of May with his mom and his siblings. And he was planning on going to Georgia. And then the last text message that he sent to her was like, if anything ever happens, I just want you to know that I love you. Now, some people could look at that question as like, if anything happens to me, as though something bad would happen to them. But if the police report is correct and he had been having thoughts of suicide for several months and had previously attempted suicide in their closet, maybe.
I think you have just from the beginning totally been dismissive of like what veterans go through when they return from war. You're just totally dismissing the PTSD and stuff. Like, I don't know how long he's been back, like, but I know that there's like the big issue here. And KATIE, you like to you don't know anything. Okay, I've got to shut up because she's fucked. But can I just insert here, KATIE? You have isolated your husband, Toad, from his family. Before you came along, he had an awesome relationship with his sisters. Now they hardly see him. They can't get past you. You've manipulated him into believing that his family don't want the best for him because your family don't want the best for you. Because you control I was going to say, what is that word? You can, no, what's that? Oh, that cliche. You control the rooster. It's not that. Oh, fuck.
In early May, he was feeling suicidal, and maybe Vaughn knew then what he was planning on attempting to do. So I had to look at it from both sides. I had to look at it from, was there foul play? Was it attempted suicide? And I had to look at it, does this message mean something bad's going to happen to me so I know that I love you? Or does it mean I might attempt to die by suicide and I want you to know that I love you? Right? Because he.
Oh my God. I would hate if a T channel was talking about me and my family and speculating on my last message or, you know, just I'm trying to put myself in Vaughn's shoes. I think KATIE is unable to see the big picture and she just gets she's so narrow-minded. So she's unable to really get a broad perspective on things. And she always lets her fucking agenda interfere. That's what happens when you, well, in my opinion, Cold. I'm just trying to guess though, because, you know, I got a pretty good compass. But yeah, not this one.
He cannot speak. I can't make the decision on which one it is. And I can only go off of the police report, which at this point, 3 different officers have all presented their narratives of what they saw that day. And you also had UMA first responders providing their information to police. And so far, based on what I've seen, and I know that the case is likely still open, but I don't know what they're going to find at this point, because everything that they saw that day did point to an attempted suicide. And everyone online has been trying to dissect Dre's behavior to try to make it seem like everything that she was doing leading up to this is what drove him to this. So there's some people that think that she did it to him. And I admit, I wrongly believed that. In the very beginning, on heightened emotion and on highly charged information and beliefs by family, I did buy into that narrative for like a very short period of time. Once I had more time to truly like disconnect my feelings from the situation and look at this objectively, believe that. In the very beginning, on heightened emotion and on highly charged information and beliefs by family, I did buy into that narrative for like a very short period of time. Once I had more time to truly like disconnect my feelings from the situation and look at this objectively, to me, it looked more like a man that had serious mental health issues that needed help, and you know, he felt like there was no other option but out.
Where the fuck is your trigger warning? Where the fuck is your trigger warning? Why do you feel the right to just start talking about this? Don't you understand there's people out here that get fucking triggered? Don't you think there's people out here that also have mental illness that don't want some T channel just going from speculating, going on, blah, blah, blah. This is the story I've come up with in my mind. Straight into speculating about why someone committed suicide. You're a fucking bitch, Katie. This is insensitive as fuck. Fuck, I hate you, man. I hate you. I'm sorry. This affects me just so much because, like, if there's one thing I understand mental illness. I understand, like, dormant mind. Like, I've lived that. And, like, oh, my God, she's just so fucking blind. I hate, and she's like, that's where my emotion or something. Oh, I'm going to amp it up to 2 because you pissed me off.
And that's sad. And then that made me realize and learn from so many veterans, thank you very much for sending me DMs, that every single day 22 former, like, veterans, I was going to say former military personnel, but veterans, die by suicide. There's such a high, like, epidemic with suicide for veterans that there's been pushes and calls for updating the number, because currently the number is 17 according to the CDC, and there's an entire movement to get it to 22. So they see that there's 5 more people every day dying by suicide that are veterans. There's been pushes by all of these veteran, nonprofits to get better services, and because.
Do you care about the statistics, or do you care about adding to the statistics, Katie? Do you care about your viewers right now? Do you care about affecting anyone who may be watching you who has mental illness and is just like, how the fuck did I end up? Like, how did I get here? She's talking about suicide and it's fucking triggering me. And I didn't have a choice. I didn't get a chance to click away. You didn't give me that chance. I feel like I don't deserve this. Why are you doing this to people? Why do you think it's so fucking easy?
Because of the epidemic, the CDC has been doing research along with the federal government to work to try to find better services, support, and ways to help veterans recover from their trauma, get the help that they need, help them with getting into the real world, getting them employment. The transition from being active duty to becoming a veteran is not an easy one, and it's a lot of veterans have PTSD. And if they don't get help, a lot of them are dying by suicide. And so help them with getting into the real world, getting them employment. The
PTSD excites her. Loves licking those lips, licking up that drool from the excitement.
Transition from being active duty to becoming a veteran is not an easy one, and it's a lot of veterans have PTSD. And if they don't get help, a lot of them are dying by suicide. And so it's a sad reality. And so while we might want to blame Dre and say she did this or she did that, is it really fair for us to, like, accuse someone of driving someone else to suicide without proof? There's a lot of proof that she was doing a lot of crappy things online. That's for sure. I don't disagree that playing doctor and pretending like you can help your husband and heal him is dangerous. I think it's evidenced by the fact that she was giving him medication, which when he was having a seizure, that caused an overdose, and they had to call the police. I mean, that's documented. It's also evident based on the number of calls to the home, 25 in fact, that this couple was dealing with a tumultuous, volatile relationship. There was accusations of domestic violence against both her and, well, no, actually, she said publicly he'd never hit her, ever. And when he talked to police, he said that she was trying to attack him, and he told friends that he attacked her.
What are you doing? Why do you think that this, like, whoa, jumping into another triggering issue? You are speculating, by the way.
So domestic violence, substance abuse, a lot of things that have come into play. And not to mention kratom and some of the medications that they're on, like benzodiazepines. Benzos in particular, when you're withdrawing from them, if you don't do it correctly, you can actually have seizures. That's a known side effect. And withdrawing from opioids, not to say that kratom is an opioid, but it works on opioid receptors, can also cause seizures. Not to mention if they're using pain medication, withdrawing from opioids.
You're using uppers during the day and you're using downers at night. And still, I mean, this live, it says that 4 a.m. Hope that is your time, right? Friday, 4 a.m. What the fuck are you doing up? Is this work? I thought 9 to 5. You're in your office. You fucking are. And it's not about us to speculate, you know, who caused someone to have suicide, but I'll just sit here for over an hour and speculate about their whole family and all their relationships and who's in it for what and what is happening. This is the real deal. How I see it is how it is. Right, Katie? Is that what you're trying to say? Bring that mane around, stroke that. Is this flipped? Is that your usual side that you bring it round on? Has it got a bit longer? Are you tilting that way? Where the hell is your self-awareness? Do you know where it is? It's answering the people that are asking you why you are constantly sharing all this information, the people that you are blocking in your chat, in your comments. Because what? You don't want to answer that? You don't want to admit that, yes, you are a smearing business and that is what you do? Defamation? Pfft, they haven't got me yet. Yeah, keep saying that.
It can also cause seizure and it can be deadly. So it can cause depression too. So I can't also ignore the fact that there's live videos of him talking about his own health, saying publicly that he didn't like going to the doctor, saying publicly that he didn't want to mess with doctors, he didn't want to deal with doctors. He didn't like being on medication. He didn't feel like the medication was working. And whether he came to that conclusion or not, or if you feel like he was brainwashed by Dre, I guess that's gonna have to come down to like what your perception is. So I can't be like, she's manipulating him. I don't know. Like, yes, she's a very controlling person, admittedly. I don't disagree with you. But throughout this process, even objectively being able to look at both sides was not allowed. So if they're saying to me, well, she doesn't want me to see Vaughn, why? That's my biggest question would be why? What are her reasons for not wanting you to see Vaughn? Okay. Are they valid? Are they valid? Is there a fear? Is there an imminent threat? Is there a reason? Is there a history, right? Y'all, we're walking into a situation we don't know anything about. This is a family that's had decades to develop the relationships that they have. So why did I look into his family? Well, if we're going to criminalize Dre and look at everything that she's doing, we also need to look at why would Dre have fears of his family, or why would Dre adamantly not want his family there?
Uncle Sal, I just saw your comment and I think that we should. I think we're going to skip ahead and try get to a different part of the story because, oh, yeah, she just goes round and round in circles trying to dig one point in. But yeah, let's jump ahead and see if the universe is going to let us slide in without any snottiges going on.
Not to mention some of the things that she's telling us are maybe not truthful and are a little bit exaggerated or, you know, not factual. And then you have to look at the law. Does she even have a case in order to sue? And that the public pay for all of these things, not to mention some of the things that she's telling us are maybe not truthful and are a little bit exaggerated or, you know, not factual. And then you have to look at the law. Does she even have a case in order to sue? And that she could. Anyone can sue anything for anything. Like anyone can sue anyone for anything, right? They can. Does that mean it will be successful? No. Most civil litigation never goes to trial. Anyone for anything, right? They can. Does that mean it will be successful? No. Most civil litigation never goes to trial. Most civil litigation is either dismissed for a variety of reasons or settled out of court. And in this case, I don't know what her legal grounds would be because unfortunately, Vaughn's was adopted by his grandmother, great-grandmother, and his great-grandmother raised him. And he's legally adopted. His name is the same last name as his great-grandmother's and his grandfather. Letitia's not a next of kin at this point. His next of kin are his wife, who is still his wife. And at this point, POA has not been taken away from her. She is not how he feels. And what if that's not the case? What if he feels the exact opposite? What if you're fighting a righteous fight and that's not what he would have thought? And the reason I began to think that is because some of Dre's former followers, and even some of her followers now that don't agree with her, and I want to say this to the people that are following Dre and that have been supporters of her or have followed her, not all of them are brainwashed, not all of them are in a cult, not all of them are clueless to like, they're not agreeing with her. A lot of them have noted to me that they saw a decline in her in the last couple of years, and they noticed a sharp change in her the more she got involved with Kratom and all of these herbs. And a lot of them also were able to express to me what Vaughn said about his wife and how he felt about them and how they were open about their marital problems and how they did struggle.
But that's hearsay. And now you are passing it on as fact. You're not even saying allegedly this is, you know, what their friends think of what was going on. You're just like, well, their friends said this is what their relationship was like. So it must be. I mean, their friends said that. That's how much you don't understand him. Like, fucking, not everyone shares everything with their friends. Even their friends can just be oblivious to the ABUSE going on. Yeah. And then you have similarities with you and, well, Dre, isolating the person from their family.
And they didn't hide the fact that they had struggles. And they did talk about on their supporter lives about how they, at one point planned to get a divorce. None of that was like hidden, and she wasn't faking that. That's what the supporters have told me. And the supporters that don't agree with what she's doing with the kids, with the verbs, with the businesses, with the kratom, they still are attached to her personality they met a few years ago when she wasn't into all that crap, where she was more real and she wasn't pushing this kind of shit on people, and she was funny and down to earth and made people laugh. And all of them have said the Slay with Dre joke is the knife. And so everyone is making the knife thing such a big deal when it's literally the long-standing joke of her channel. Is it morbid? Is it dark? Maybe. People have said she has a dark sense of humor. So does that automatically make someone an evil, vindictive murderer? I don't know. Like, that's not fair to say. I don't know what, at the end of the day, she was controlling. Yes, I believe that. She admits that. But other than that, like, the only thing I've noted in all of this is that they both were dealing with substance abuse and the kids were living in a volatile situation.
I think you should fucking look up substance abuse and how many fucking DV relationships involve substance abuse. Katie, in my opinion, there's DV going on in your house. In my opinion, you might be abusing your husband, isolating him from everyone. From what I've seen. But if you're allowed to sit there and speculate and think that you're doing good, at least I say, this is my opinion. This is what I've, Jesus, fuck, we should jump ahead again. Is that dark? Is it morbid? I don't know. Can I profit off it? I mean, Amber, she had a machete and I fully played all those videos, all those audio of her DV relationship with her husband because I didn't care. I wanted the money. I bought a fucking couch. Life is grand when you're wearing a Snoop Dogg shirt.
And Vaughn didn't get the care that he needed as he transitioned out of the military. And an attempted suicide has been turned into this justice that nobody knows if this is actually what he wants. One of her supporters that doesn't even like what she's doing said to me, I don't even like what she's doing right now, but I know Vaughn enough to know that he would be so mad by everything that's happening online that he would assume that everyone should be on his mom's side. When in truth, even if he and Dre fought and even if they were having arguments, they still loved each other. And that was his wife, and he would have defended her. And if he were to wake up, he would be sad to see everyone attacking her. Some people believe that fought, and even if they were having arguments, they still loved each other. And that was his wife, and he would have defended her. And if he were to wake up, he would be sad to see everyone attacking her. Some people believe that that's not true and that he wanted to leave her, and that's it. But maybe Vaughn felt that.
Whoa. That is cold. Like, does she know what she's talking about? Now she's like, and some people think it's true that they had a DV relationship. Other people think that they didn't. But Katie, even if there was, there's that love. That's like, you don't understand. That's what keeps you going back, because you think the love is strong enough. The abuser convinces them. I don't think you'll ever understand. Oh, so you will never understand. Here we are.
Desperate and just wanted to leave everything. Maybe he felt so empty and lost in his own mental health and and in the mental illnesses that he was dealing with and his addiction. I mean, detoxing can lead to suicidal thoughts if you have withdrawal. If people that deal with substance abuse, suicide attempts are not uncommon as you get.
Fuck, I'm going to have to go ahead. This is stuff that fucking affects me. Like, speculation. And you don't know, Katie. You've never, well, you are still abusing substances, in my opinion. So your mind is the mind of an addict. And you think that it's rational enough to sit there, like, that's what I mean. Like, the addict's mind would sit there and speculate on someone's DV relationship, thinking that they have a right. Because, Katie, guess what? One of the biggest signs of meth, amphetamine addiction is you feel fucking godlike. No one can touch you. My God, man. And that's that.
Further into addiction, you start to feel helpless and lose hope. I spoke to LATISHA was a week ago. I hadn't spoken to her in 6 days before that point. So how do you harass someone that you don't even speak to? And during that period, when I would go check my messages, I was never blocked. I was also not messaging her and asking her questions. I mean, I might have asked her like a couple questions and she never responded, but I didn't take it personally.
She just backtracked. She just contradicted herself again. And I checked and I wasn't blocked, but it's not like I was sending her heaps of messages. I mean, I sent her quite a bit, but, you know, she didn't respond and I didn't have an issue with that. Okay, then why did you bring it up? And you just did the whole, like, it's not like I bombarded her. And were you constantly checking to see if you were blocked? Because I feel like that's what you want. Yeah, that's what you want. So then you can go, and now they've blocked me. They just don't want to hear my narrative, in my opinion. Just let me know if I've got your voice down, right, Katie? I think I'm pretty close.
And then she did send me that message out of the blue last Thursday. And then got mad at me for publicly saying that I spoke to Molly. Then I also saw what was happening with other creators that tried to step in to help as well. And I thought, this is really weird. And I saw how she was treating Sherelle, which didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, Sherelle has a huge platform. She has over 300,000 subscribers. She's also a woman. She's an African-American woman that speaks about racial injustice. And her husband, Carrie, also an African-American man, speaks about racial injustice and the experience of him as a Black man. And that is, but race is always a factor in life, unfortunately. Like Goddess, who was trying to explain why maybe people of color don't go to the hospital because of systemic bias in treatment and how people are treated. And then all these people in my comments saying that that's not true. I'm like, go to the CDC, go read the journals. It's been documented. Okay.
But I don't want to listen to you, a white woman of privilege, speak about shit that she's never fucking lived. God, sometimes in the comments that you are arguing with Black women. It's like you forget that you're a white woman from Minnesota who's been raised. You were raised in a town of almost white children, kids, like all those pictures, the times you spoke about going to school, and you never really saw any person of color until you ventured out of Minnesota. So don't sit there and fucking, oh my God, this is another life you've never lived. Katie, get the fuck out of your room, this little funeral waiting room. Go out there and do something. Act. Because your words are fucking worthless because your credibility is fucking shot. Have you Googled your fucking name yet? Or the name of your business? Go ahead, do it. Include the LLC if you want. Doesn't make a difference to Google reviews.
I see how she's treating every creator that tries to help. And then I hear her saying, I'm the only one that gets to speak for her. Well, that's really weird. That's not normal in blogging. When a family needs help and they want a story to be spread, and if they want a lot of people to reach the story, they're going to want to speak to as many people as possible to help the story spread. But if you confine it to a single platform, the story can't go anywhere. So when you're restricting access to people and then you're basically making anyone that tries to tell the story and you're yelling at them and screaming at them, and then you are that mom and you're the family member and you're only mad after. She wasn't mad the whole time. She was yelling at all these other people. She was only mad after I said I spoke to her publicly. Isn't that weird? Why? By that point, by the time that I spoke to LATISHA that day, I was already like well into my skepticism, well into realizing there was way more than 2 stories. My first day that I figured out something wasn't right was, I think, the 13th of July or the.
But by then you'd already fucking posted way too much information that caused harm to everyone involved with no fucking concern in the world. So while you were sitting there with your little skepticism going through, oh, this is a critical thought, I can use this to push my narrative. Katie, how's that for your accent? I feel like that is more closer to what we are dealing with.
12th of July. So it wasn't like, oh, she blocked me and all of a sudden I've been looking at both sides. No, I've been looking at both sides the whole time. And I've been looking at both sides the whole time. What isn't helping anything is the like black and white thinking of the situation. Because if you're on the justice for one side, what are you fighting for justice for? What if that's not what actual justice is? What if it's not true? And if you're on Dre's side, what if what you believe is not true? What if you're in the middle and you realize there's been probably some deception on both sides?
What if there's a fucking woman that like has never fucking studied journalism or reporting or anything, who has not learned from past wrongs, who continues to fucking put information out there that is not relevant to the situation? A fucking T channel. Katie, if you want to be fucking taken serious, fucking learn, go to school, get stuff on your resume that makes you a better like reporter. Because as shit as like you think Molly Golightly is, I don't know, she's a bit more fucking mature than you. Well, you know, depending, but I feel like she's more of a woman and a mum than you. Does your son have a Snoop Dogg shirt because you're a big fan?
And then you have endless fundraising and people trying to impede on anyone to look at both sides. That's weird, in my opinion. All these are excuses. I'm not helping anything. Okay, don't be. Okay. Everyone's looked into Dre's family. I mean, everyone's looked into every aspect of Dre's life. Oh, this chick is...
No, not everyone has. You're the only one, really. And like I said, if everyone's doing something wrong, would you just do that? Like, are you a follower? What do you stand for? Leaf? Should I get my leaf blower out?
It's crazy. And see, everyone is saying that, like, I should just stop. It's funny. If you don't like what I say, then I need to stop. I'm making myself look beyond messy, she says. Go find a different story. Well, why would I find a different story if, like, why is it that when the story isn't going the direction that they want it to go, you need to leave the situation?
Why do you think everyone telling you to find another story is coming from Molly Golightly? Why do you think everyone is like, fuck? Listen to your followers. There's been so many that said, look, I'm leaving. I can't believe I followed you for years. You fucking lost the plot. Because you're going on and on and on. You don't put down the shovel. It's not a 9 to 5 fucking job for you. It's 18 hours out of 24 hours a day. And then you go sit in bed and still you sleep with the phone in your hand. You can see it, your hand. It's basically frozen in a phone. And look at your neck from looking down all the time.
Okay. If I deleted that one, I didn't mean to. Some people hate that she's been named a monster. Yes, as we see, all the comments are being deleted. Well, I'll delete those comments later. Either way, just because it's not a story you want to hear doesn't mean someone has to stop telling the story. And just because it's a story that you don't agree with doesn't mean someone has to stop telling the story. So if you want to be part of the harassment against people that want to speak out or share a different point of view, fine, go ahead. If you want to laugh about it, make a joke of it, that's fine too. I'm not going to like yell at you guys and scream at you. I'm not going to call you guys names. I just don't think that at this point in time, I'm making it worse. Yeah, I'm making it. Okay.
Just even your response here, Katie. Like, I watch Annie 10 to Live. And she's always open for a discussion, always open to see things from someone's different point of view. And not just sit there. And it's up to you if you want to like believe what I'm saying or not. Just because you don't drink the Kool-Aid. Mrs. Cult Leader pointing their finger at everyone's in a cult. Maybe they're not in a cult. Maybe Dre's just a nice person. Maybe I should try some kratom. Sorry, Katie, I was talking for you. But you know that kratom falls into herbs as well. But in Australia, we pronounce the H, herbs. Like, where did it go? When you guys write it, do you do like an apostrophe, like this is where the H should, or I just said H. This is where the H should be? Why does the H just disappear? It's funny. I'm giving you guys shit, but we're moving on now. Herbs. But like, okay.
All right. Anyways, the kids, there's nothing to report. There's an open DCF case. Okay, so let me clarify about the done with it. One comment I made was I was done with the story as long as I was going to continue to get threats. As someone that has a platform, it's my right to decide and change my mind if I'm done with the story. I had a lot of people say don't be bullied into getting off the story just because you're getting threats. Don't be scared. Don't feel like you can't look at this from all angles. Yes, I said I was going to leave the story if the threats continued. I did. And then I also changed my mind and I said, I'm going to keep looking at the story. And if that upsets you, I'm sorry. Again, I'm not against anyone. I'm trying to see this from both sides. And I still believe the children need to be safe. And I still believe that at this point, there's a lot more that we don't know.
Oh, Katie, I wasn't ready for you to end. You really went, like, she didn't even stop for a selfie with the peace sign or anything. She was out of there. I was halfway through writing what I was going to say, and it doesn't have the important information. It just says, you don't, what could I have been writing there? You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh, you don't know how to fucking investigate. An investigator doesn't, jump on the story that day and then boom, just start sharing information. Go and investigate the story. Collect your information. Then go back, put it on a big fucking corkboard. If that helps you see the big picture, I think you might need a visual. And then find out what relevant information is the public, is good for the public. And then go, maybe I should put a trigger warning in here before I say this because I don't want to further affect people. Katie, you think you would be better each time. I was watching, because I've been going through my videos that I didn't put a title on and I didn't say what they're about. So I got to fucking force myself now to figure out what it's about. And you were Gabby Petito. It's the same fucking shit here. Like, you think if reporting on sensitive cases is so important to you that you would get a clue, improve your skills, Skillshare, like I said, Journalism 101. It's a 6-week course. Get the general idea that there's ethical boundaries, moral boundaries. You've got to stand for something, otherwise you will fall for everything, Katie, and that's what's happening here. It's like you haven't changed since Swanson fed you, your whole fucking backyard pool. You still are allowing people to manipulate you into getting their truth out, because that's what you're known for, Katie. That's your credibility, is this person has a hate boner. If you feed them information towards, their hate boner, they're going to spill that information. Plus, everyone is a vetted source because anyone's a source because I refer to you as they. I know it's weird when it's just one person, sole employee, employer, but then there's Toad. Do you have without a crystal ball key rings yet? Because I really want one. I want one for, I want Toad to carve me one out. A small guitar. Oh my God. Oh, he could use it for all the small things in his life. Toad, look at me planning and speculating on how your life should be. Yeah, I'm surprised that you aren't locked in the basement, actually, Toad. Mr. Without any balls, without any crystals, or, because it's all, where are we? Where did the thought go? It just simmered out. Oh, fuck. Let me scroll down. Wow. Where are we? Wow, my brain is mashed potato. Oh, wow. Dirty Uncle Sal, your comment that I put up must have been up the top because I'm scrolling and it's scrolling a lot. Have I not scrolled in the chat since the beginning of the... Here we go. It's a long way down and Katie will fall that distance one day. I wonder what it would take for her to even learn to grow. I don't know if she will. And that's why I think we need to speak to Toad. Because I have covered, there's a video out, it's called Toad's Stool. I'll link it below because it's, Toad's shit. And it's all video on him, but I show you how he's got the heart. He was actually in deep depression and stuff, what year timeline? When their son was first diagnosed, when he went on life support himself, at 3 months, that's when Toad's mum or something passed away around that time. Oh, anyway, it collided and he went into this like real deep depression, and he talks about it, how like he couldn't even pick up his guitar, he couldn't play music or anything like for 3 years because he was just numb. Meanwhile, Katie, on the other hand, is writing in her articles how angry she is at her husband for like checking out. When is he going to like get back into reality and care about her? And it's just fucked because, yeah, like he was like at 3 months, at 3 months old when he was, feeding, when their son was 3 months old, Toad was feeding him with like, and he just finished the bottle and V stopped breathing in his arms. Like that will traumatize him, like, right? And anyway, he talks about it and he writes about it and he does an interview and he, not that he is, I'm not trying to talk up, but the difference in them, and that's why I feel like because he does have a heart, he's able to be manipulated by her. That's how she gets to me. I don't know, man. All this fucking shit. I swore I was not going to let her affect me anymore. And it's so hard not to let her affect me when I'm not given a warning of what I'm walking into. And just even her post, like she just, Linkin Park is all of a sudden her favorite band. And just talking about giving out signs. I didn't show it. I didn't show this post that she did on Facebook. There's a lot of stuff I don't even want to show because I don't want to pass that information. Like, I don't want to give it a broader audience or be part of pushing that information out, especially with the whole Von thing. When we go back to Von McCray, like, I didn't even want to share what Katie was saying about the family because I feel like I would be adding to that negative shit. And he deserves so much more. And I really feel like anyone that says like I think Katie has even said it. She's like, well, you should know that when we're talking about this topic that suicide is going to come up. And that's not the point. The point is we need that warning. Anyone with mental illness that, this is sensitive info, like it's fucked. It's hard to explain because my heart gets all up in my throat and then I can't talk. Fuck my life. And the thing is, like with Katie, like, I believe Katie is a narcissist. So she doesn't feel, whereas I overfeel. I remember when I first went to see my psychologist, like I was in therapy for like ages, like 15 years or something. And they diagnosed me, or my psychiatrist was like, you're an emotional person. I'm like, oh, did I need to come to you to hear that? Like, no shit, fucking Sherlock. But live my life by emotion and then, just get fucking drawn in. But if she, like, because I consider myself to be I consider myself to be strong now, and she's still affecting my mind. So I can't imagine that there's people that are vulnerable and going through shit and she is fucking with them, and I don't know if they have anyone to talk to or, oh my God, that's just, now I've gone down that path. It's so hard. But Katie, I hate her. She's just so disrespectful. Doesn't care. Doesn't understand though as well. Like her trying to talk about PTSD and veterans coming back from war. I don't think she's even watched a documentary or, I don't know, like people coming back from war has always just been a big part of, well, my family. We like have Anzac Day, go to Anzac Day ceremonies like 4 a.m. or Anzac Day is Australia, New Zealand Army Corps, and we celebrate like the freedom of Australia, but basically the First World War, Gallipoli, And yeah, where are we? We are in somewhere. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and please give this a like if you liked my stream, not Katie's. Yeah, I don't know, like, when does she get over this topic? When is it safe? Like, I don't want to be affected, like, especially right now, like, stuff that I have been working for is about to be, like, acknowledged, and, like, I don't even know how to say it. I'll have to explain one time for everyone new who's like, oh, what are you talking about? I'll have to do me in a nutshell and how shit I am at telling my own story. Like, fuck, it'd be so good. I just want to find someone who can tell my story because I'm not good at it. Katie, I don't want you. Although, do you want to try? Oh, just hate her even more. Just the whole, like, trying to understand substance abuse. Well, she in a DV relationship. It's Amber Portwood, in my opinion. It's even worse, the damage that people that are unaware that they too have mental illness, and they're like proclaiming that they can help people that have it. When the fuck are you going to lose Facebook platform? Once we get Facebook shut down, then we've got Instagram is done. And then what are the rest? Oh yeah, YouTube. Should be hard. I keep hearing that the only reason she's still got her channel up is because it's collecting info. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's related to the Duggars or something. Maybe not the Duggars, but when are you going to go back to the Duggars? Okay. We can have a long pause there and just go, do we want her to? Thanks, guys. And yeah, I tripled on at the end, but I got vertigo. So, you know, I'm so loose in the head right now. And thanks everyone for rocking up in the chat. And new member, thank you so much. Hang on, I'm going to remember your name off the top of my head without reading it. Oh, your last name was really good. Big Gob. Big Gob. But that's probably not. So I went up to someone recently and I said, do you know what your last name is? Arsfart. Arsfart. And that's what I call him now. And he never saw his name as I saw it. Take care, guys. Oh, gosh. There's only so much laying down I can do, though, with vertigo. The worst is having a shower. I feel like I need that old people, like, bar put in there on the wall. Oh, look at your name. Oh, Lab Ninja. Did you escape from a lab? Do you have Ninja nunchuck? Oh, you have a dog? We don't need nunchucks. I'm saying it wrong, aren't I? It's not nunchucks. Oh, thank you so much for your super sticker. See, that's what having a little dribble at the end makes everything catch up with the lag. Okay, guys, please take care out there and enjoy your day if it's during the day over there, because it's the night time now. So, yes, I'm going to go get horizontal and try and sleep again, although I have been horizontal all day. I started watching Buffy again, so life's pretty good. Oh, do not. Oh my God. Why did I not think of bath chairs? I don't even know if I have a chair that I'm going to go find a chair that will fit in there. That's my life. I need someone. No, I don't. Do I need someone with a flannel? No. Oh. Where's Bill? They're not coming back from sitting in the shower. Oh, where's the end button? Guys, hit the like, subscribe, and yeah.